Hey, good afternoon and welcome to Taking Care of Business. Today I will be talking to Tim Huffman. He's with Duke Energy and is the senior project manager of the upcoming Great Falls, what I'm going to call Whitewater Center. And that probably is not the official name, but you get the idea. This is a project that begins around the Fishing Creek Dam area on Highway 200, proceeds down the river a couple of miles to Great Falls. It runs right in between the Lancaster and Chester County line there. Today's show is made possible by the support of our sponsors. We'd like to thank Comporium Communication, Founders Federal Credit Union, Nutramax Laboratories, INSP Crossridge, Hell Gold Mine, Oceana Gold, the Hell Operation, the PCI Group, and MUSC Health, the Lancaster Medical Center. I'd also like to take a minute and thank PCI Group and Haynes Full Circle Benefits for the use of their studio today. And we've got a quick commercial from Marty Haynes.
Employee benefits are the best way to retain valuable employees. What you offer, ease of enrollment, and how you manage the cost of those benefits is very important. Healthcare is expensive. Some employees may delay or forego care. Are you just accepting that renewal increase, or are you actively managing the cost of healthcare and benefit design in order to keep the costs manageable for your employees? It's time to lay the groundwork, scrap the cookie cutter approach, and develop customized solutions that meet the goals of your business and the needs of your employees. If you are ready for real alternatives and a trusted advisor, give us a call.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I'm good, Dean. How are you today?
Great. Well, I've already enjoyed talking to you a little bit offline before the show kicked on, and I'm just more excited than I was when I first heard about the project. But a lot of folks aren't familiar with the project and Great Falls, the history that surrounds it. So, give everybody an update or a little bit of a history lesson and update about what the project's all about.
Okay. There's a reason the town is called Great Falls, and that's because there was a 4-mile long stretch of rapids through there that could be heard for miles around. So a little over 100 years ago, about 120 years ago, the predecessor company to Duke Energy, it was called Southern Power Company, built a reservoir and power plant there at Great Falls to support the textile industry. Sure. And so in creating that reservoir, the company actually built concrete dams across the top end of those rapids. And then about partway down, they sealed off a tributary. The river kind of braided through there. Right. And then at the powerhouse was a third concrete dam. Okay. And so those dams have been in place for 115 years now. Wow. The power plant is still operating, still producing power. The way that we operate and use the water by the permission of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, and so it's under a license. And the license began renegotiations in the late 90s to get it relicensed. And as a part of the terms of the overall Catawba River license, we're asked to provide diversions of water back into those channels that were dried out by the creation of these, or by the construction of those concrete dams. And so that's the essence of the project, is that we will reintroduce water for recreation and also for biological purposes at 2 points into those dry river channels.
Wow, that's it's almost mind-boggling to kind of think about from the history of when those dams were built, and there's been no water in there. And now you're going to reintroduce it. So you mentioned 3 dams in there. So yes. What's happened to those structures? Are they going to remain in place and just be modified, or just come down completely, or what?
No, they'll remain in place. They will be modified. So there's a fairly long low dam called the diversion dam that's immediately below Fishing Creek Station. You can see it from the Highway 200 bridge. We will put 2 triangular notches into that dam for water releases, and they're designed so that we can know how much water we're releasing there.
Okay.
Those will all be concrete fixed structures, no moving parts at that point. When you come about a mile downriver to the second set of dams, we will cut those dams down. We'll cut them down about 6 feet, about 500 and some odd feet of dam that'll have to be cut down 6 feet, and then we will put in 7-foot gates. They're Obermeyer gates. They're a pneumatic gate, and those will be active elements. And those will be how we control and release water into the second dry reach. So the first reach, the water will be released through design notches. The second reach will be released over the gates.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm standing on the bridge there at 200 right now, and I'm looking down river with the dam to my back. This is to divert water to the left and go down that what would have been the dry bed, correct?
Yes. So
if I'm a kayaker, or we got kayaking going on, right? Is that where a kayaker is going to begin? Right up there?
Close, very close to there. Right now, the public access area is under construction. It's at what's called the old Nitra Lee site, which is on Fishing Creek Creek, not to be confused with Fishing Creek Hydro Plant.
Okay.
And so it's on that. And so if you're the kayaker, you would probably put in there, and you'd have about maybe, I don't know, half a mile flat water paddle before you get to where these structures will be.
Okay.
And so if you were looking downstream again, the structures will be on the western end, or the Chester County side end of that diversion dam. Gotcha. So that'll be your access point.
So if I'm not a kayaker and I'm a hiker, am I going to get to enjoy seeing some of this? And I'm a pretty avid photographer. Am I going to go down there and take pictures of men and women kayaking down the channel?
Absolutely. You could do that right now. In fact, if you came in from the Lancaster County side, you can very easily walk down to, there's a road that goes along the riverbank for about 1.25 miles, I think, downstream, and you can walk easily out into the river bed itself from that road. And when you're out there in the middle of the river, it's really it's a surprising vista. You get out into the middle of that river, and looking downstream, you're looking at waves of granite going away from you. And if you look to the west, you see there's 40 or 50-foot granite bluffs on what's called Mountain Island, and it's very surprising. It's a very interesting. So it's like a primeval landscape. Wow.
I mean, when you describe it, I mean, it reminds me of what I might see up in the Nantahala or the Linville Gorge area, maybe, in some respects is what it sounds like you're describing. Is that a fair comparison?
It actually is a fair comparison. I've hiked the Linville Gorge, and it's similar. It's not, I mean, the Linville Gorge is deeper, but this is still, you're driving along in kind of the rolling hills country, and then take a few steps off the road, and it's a different place.
Wow. I mean, that's really, really exciting. So thinking about that, you've got there's going to be hiking, there's going to be kayaking going on. Talk a little bit about the different recreational activities. I think there's a few other parts of the comprehensive project too.
Well, there's a lot of threads that are coming together here, I guess is the way to put it. Duke Energy's part here is to basically put the water back into the rivers. And you said it's a whitewater center. We're really not constructing a whitewater center because that's already there. Nature put that there. Right. We're just going to put the water into the river, and there's your whitewater. So you've got that. Then on the west side, on the Chester County side, there is an old railroad right-of-way. It was owned by CSX. It's being acquired. The sale is almost closed. The town of Great Falls and some other folks are associated with that, and that will be an extension of the excuse me, the Carolina Thread Trail,
Okay.
about 3 miles long. And then down adjacent to the town of Great Falls proper is Dearborn Island. And so Dearborn Island was the site of a Revolutionary War arsenal. And Duke has leased that property to South Carolina Parks and Recreation Department. And they intend to build a interpretive park with some primitive campsites, with yurts. There'll be trails. There will be a bridge that is built across from the town to the park, a pedestrian bridge. And that's where the second whitewater channel will actually be, is between Dearborn Island and Mountain Island. And the second channel, as far as the difficulty, the second channel is the more difficult channel. It's like a class 4 whitewater. That's where you'll see your real paddlers, your more expert paddlers. And they'll go in and
possibility of like Olympic trial type training in that area at that level.
It will be to that level. It will.
Wow.
But the other channel is the level that probably will get more commercial activity, because it's not flat water. It's class 2 and 3. It's about 2.5 miles long. It will have a 1,000-foot switchback that we will construct. That will it's the safe boater bypass access area that we're going to build, and that, I think, is the one where people will come out with the family and just come out with friends and go down that river and have a great afternoon.
Yeah, well, I think that I'll be on. So I appreciate you getting one side for me and then one side for people that know what they're doing.
Well, I'll be on that easy side as well.
Hey, you mentioned the commercial use of that. So talk a minute about the potential economic impact. I mean, certainly Great Falls, like many southern towns, relied on textiles for so long, and with the closure of textile, that community and town really needs a resurgence, and this can be that resurgence, I would think and expect. So talk about the economic impact.
It can be a spark. Great Falls is situated almost exactly halfway between Columbia and Charlotte. It's a 1-hour drive from either one. And, in Charlotte, a 1-hour drive is your daily commute to work. So this, that's not going to put anybody off to go to a new recreational resource like this. So our project, the diversion project, will commission. We're to commission in August of 2022. I believe that the Thread Trail will be shortly after that, and then the South Carolina Park will follow. So things will build on each other.
Right.
And we do have the public access at Nitra Lee that is already under construction, and it will open up for full access at the same time as we commission our diversion structures. So I think what you'll see first will be your outfitters, your guys that, they have the kayaks, they have the rafts, they have the vests. They will ferry you back and forth to the put in and take out point, probably provide you lunch. And so that'll be your first wave.
Gotcha.
After that, I would expect to see little restaurants and cafes start to spring up. Mm-hmm. You may see an outfitter or two that spring up. Bed and breakfast, perhaps. I mean, you're there and you'll be kind of surrounded. There'll be a multiple of things that can be done. You're very close to Lansford Canal, which is a gorgeous area as well. So I have the feeling that it will become more and more of a destination. You can have microbrewery come in there very easily.
Yeah,
it should happen.
Yeah, I'm just kind of picturing the number of years that I've spent going up into the North Carolina mountains, going over to the Nantahala Whitewater Center, and the first time I ventured up there, I mean, the outfitters were the only thing there. I mean, you'd get on a bus, they take you up there, and then you come out at another place and they pull you back out. Now you go up there, there's a couple of restaurants, a little snack shop, there's a store, and all sorts of things. We're literally in the middle of nowhere. So here it's not the middle of nowhere.
No, it's not.
Restaurants popping up and microbreweries. I would think even the city of Lancaster could, only being 15 minutes away, could easily benefit from drawing some traffic over here if they think strategically. Is that fair?
Very much so. Oh yes. And you'll probably see. I mean, you know how money is. Money is like manure. You start spreading it around, and things will start to grow. And
you're right. And so, and you may not can answer this question, but I just wonder, as this start, what other possible opportunities, you almost refer to this as a catalyst or spark for that area. In Duke's research of doing this, I'm guessing you looked in, and maybe not you or somebody else. What might be some other things that our area should try to start to think a little bit farther down the road for? Wow, we ought to try to do this or do that. I mean, is anything come to mind looking at other projects?
I think you've got a wonderful sort of an eco-tourist resource there that has just completely been, missed. It's something that maybe was too difficult to access or just not understood, or for whatever reason it's been ignored. So I think you have an ecotourism resource there that could certainly be developed and made a known quantity, because there's one thing that people want to do in the city on the weekend, and that's get out of it.
That's right.
And so you've got these two big cities, and there's going to be a lot of people looking for an opportunity like this that is literally a short drive down the road.
Right. Right. I mean, we do have the man-made whitewater center up in North Carolina, but, to get to Nantahala from Charlotte or Columbia, you're a 4-hour drive. It's quite the haul. And I just can't help but think, it's easy I say easy, it's costly, but rather easy to build a softball park or a sports complex. But here you're talking about a natural resource, and people that come to that, they would like to have other activities that kind of fit along with that. And so what I'm hearing you say is, both Chester County and Lancaster County need to be thinking strategically about how their parks are set up to maybe attract some of those nature outdoor enthusiasts a little bit more than just the softball and soccer teams.
Exactly. And plus, I mean, there is a great deal of deep history in this area that I think has also kind of been just kind of lost.
Right.
And the arsenal at at Dearborn, that site was actually under consideration for the siting of the United States Military Academy. And I think because of the politics of the time, West Point won out.
That's right.
There was a reason that it was under consideration for that, and that's because of and this was a wonderful economically booming area. I mean, we've transitioned from the agrarian economy into an industrial and commercial economy, and that's why it's been left behind. But that was fundamental to the formation of the United States, and the history there, you could probably start on that, and neither you or I would ever be able to get to the end of it.
Sure. So. Well, and you're kind of right off the path of the recent American Revolutionary Trail that they put in. The Buford massacre site is on there. The Battle of Hanging Rock is on there. You're going down to Camden. So you're kind of all in that area. So there's a lot of connectivity, I think, with the South Carolina Parks and Recreation Department. Tim, man, we're about out of time. Anything else about the project that we haven't covered right now you'd like to share with the group?
I've spent a lot of time sort of trying to damp expectations down. I will say that, we've put dates out there for our commissioning. That river is a force to be reckoned with out there, and we will be in the middle of it. And so we've tried to come up with a realistic schedule that on a more or less statistically normal year, we have a very good chance of achieving it. but statistically normal years have been few and far between lately. We can get delayed. You cannot stop that river. All you can do is get out of the way and wait for it to subside. So
Gotcha.
I would ask people not to, don't circle August of 2022 in big red marker on your calendar, because we could be later than that, and
Sure.
it won't be for a lack of trying, but it could go out a little bit. But we could get cooperation from Mother Nature, and that's what we hope for.
I hear you. Well, Tim, it's really exciting. I commend you for your work, and thank you and Duke Energy for putting this effort in. I mean, I know the relicensing effort. I mean, you and I were talking about before. It started in the '90s. I mean, it's not something like going to the DMV and getting your license renewed. Get a little bit more involved, and but you guys were tasked with certain things during that relicensing. But what I see from this project and some of the other things, you guys are going above and beyond what was expected, and you're doing it the right way, and you're doing it in a way that's going to enhance the area. It's going to make the area more livable. You're just spouting the chamber vision for us to make this a better place to live, work, and do business and play in this case. So thank you and Duke Energy. We can't wait to see it. We might have to have you back on the show here in about 6 months with you out in a kayak with GoPro on, so we can kind of get a look at it.
It won't be quite that quick, Dean, but I'll be glad to come back, and when we get going on it, we'll have something more to show.
Okay.
And our goal is to accomplish this project and provide a recreational access and a resource that is safe and easily accessible and beneficial to the community. And so that's what we keep at the top of the list. That's what we're going to do.
Well, it's great, and I'm excited to be one of the first people to say in a long time that Great Falls will again be a destination place for many people across the state, as well as Chester and Lancaster counties. Tim, thank you very much. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see everybody in a couple of weeks on the show again. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.